excited and glad you could join us today for another episode of Facebook Live. My name is Eric Grisham, and this guy hidden in the corner is Jerry Curry.
Yeah, trying to get in there, yeah.
We have a special guest with us today. He's another one of our Disabled Veteran Outreach Program Coordinators, or a DVOP, Kevin McFadden. He's retired Air Force, so we don't hold that against him. He's a pretty good guy other than being an Ohio State fan, but nobody's perfect. So, welcome. The businesses the challenge the businesses run into in Cochise County. Of course, at the end of each segment, we will take questions, comments from our viewers. Even if you can't chime in right now, we encourage you to leave a message or a comment for us. We will return or give you an answer or reply back as I share through other platforms, other groups after we do our live. So check us out, share, and sit back, relax, and enjoy Workforce Live. So, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Again.
All right. Yeah, again, there's always a morning. Good, not always sure.
Yeah, there's nothing good about it.
Exactly. So, we've been talking a lot about different things like resume writing, interview skills. We talked last week about the Arizona Career Readiness Credential and stuff.
Which was an amazing episode, by the way.
I thought it was okay. I felt a little lonely starting it by myself, Jerry.
Well, that was I don't know how many times I've apologized this week, last week.
Until
I left
there's
you alone, my bad.
Until there's a steak dinner involved, I don't know. You may have to keep apologizing.
Believe it or not, yes, there's this guy. Oh man, God, this guy.
So, have you ever looked out there just to see how many job search sites there are?
It's amazing. It's unbelievable.
So periodically I go in and I'll do a job search myself to update our bulletin boards and to help people looking for jobs and stuff. And I know within the county alone, the jobs within the county, there's over 75 different sites that local businesses use. From Indeed to Snag a Job to Career Builder to Clearance Jobs. I've even found one based out of the UK.
Glassdoor.
USA
Jobs.
And it's like every time you turn around, there's a new site out there. So I don't know if the businesses, because I know most of the businesses I've talked to, a lot of them use Indeed. That's where they get more of their results. But a lot of them don't even mention half of the weird sites that I found. So it almost leads me to believe that they're looking for a special. Hey, try our site out, post jobs for free for the first 30 to 90 days, and trial run. So we get all these jobs that are posted out there. So how's a job seeker supposed to figure this out?
Well, I think it's kind of funny. Typically, you have your client come in. We'll do our little triage, figure out what they want to do, and so you'll bring them back. And, we'll talk about Arizona Job Connection, we call it AJC. And they look at you like, you want me to register for another one?
Yeah.
And so they have this, it's humorous in a way because, it's like, okay, so I have to do this, do that, build another resume, blah, blah, blah. And so it's always kind of challenging to talk them into, well, we need you to do this.
Yeah.
It's to your benefit.
Another job search site, you want me to fill out another form. It's almost like being in the military. And Kevin, you can let me know on the Air Force side of the house if it was the same way. Because in the Army, every time you went to a new unit, you had to fill out a personal data sheet, emergency contact sheet, and it's like, no matter where you go, even if you was on the same installation, you went from Unit A to Unit B, you had to fill out a brand new information sheet. It's a lot like trying to set up for these job searches. I've got an account on Indeed, I've got an account on LinkedIn, LinkedUp, Snag a Job, Jobzilla, all that other stuff. So it's very frustrating for a lot of clients. And then, of course, with y'all being vet reps, you probably see a lot of folks with USA Jobs, which is a whole nother animal and a whole nother headache within itself. So, yeah, it is. It is sort of frustrating. But today we're going to talk about, and Jerry mentioned it, we're going to talk about Arizona Job Connection, or AJC as we call it. Why use it? Because that's going to be the first answer. Why another site? So, today we're gonna talk a little bit about it. What are the benefits, the pros and the cons? And maybe even share some personal opinions, even though some parts of it, we might have to censor that part.
Yeah.
But,
We'll just start bleeping it right now.
bleep. But yeah, today we're gonna talk about Arizona Job Connection. So if you're out there, you're watching this, and you're thinking, oh dear God, they want me to sign up for another job search site. Just keep in mind, Arizona Job Connection is the largest workforce database in the state of Arizona. So even if you move from Sierra Vista to Phoenix, or Tucson, or Mesa, or wherever, you can access job searches, you can access information, training, and all that. So yes, it is another site, and yes, we're gonna ask you to register.
Build a resume.
Build a resume, the whole 9 yards. But hopefully during this episode, we can explain a little bit why it's beneficial and what are the perks for it, and try to encourage you a little bit.
Well, to start, we talked about this a while back, is, when you're doing that job search, and I understand, because I hear it all the time, where a client will say, go to Walmart, and they're looking for work, and then all of a sudden they start getting all these, spams, and, go to school here, go to school there. You just have to kind of, and that's the nice benefit, once you get into AJC, you don't really have to worry about stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, it's just, make sure you're putting in the right information when you go to your search, you're doing your search. And so with Arizona Job Connection, first I wasn't a big fan of AJC, but since I've been working with it a lot more as a DVOP, there's a lot of good benefits to AJC.
Yeah, and hopefully we can cover those good points, because once again, it's another site, you put in all your information, you build a resume or upload a resume, and you do a job search.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Most people are like, another one, why? So hopefully we can share some of the pluses and the perks of this. Now, of course, anybody who wants to apply for unemployment traditionally has to apply within AJC.
Or if they have applied, they already have an account.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't realize that.
Yes, exactly.
Or even or if you apply for any state assistance, it automatically, my understanding is, I know the unemployment does create an account for you. And so normally, typically what we do, we have to go in there and hunt down their username, reset their password.
Yeah.
And so what we try to do, if they have a few minutes, is before they apply for unemployment, go to AJC first. If they have a few minutes, and then just knock that out, and then go ahead and go apply for unemployment.
And like I said, this is statewide. So the way this works, it's all about communication, sharing. So if you're out there watching live today, or you catch us on a re-show after I share it with other groups, share with your friends, your families. Have them share with their friends and families. Once again, pay it forward. It's not just limited to the drive-through at McDonald's. Even though, it's very hard to do pay it forward nowadays anymore. A lot of places don't even want to do it.
No.
And it's not the individual, it's the businesses.
Kind of annoying.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't want my money?
Exactly. I'm trying to pay for their meal and you don't want it?
Just take,
I know.
It's actually been stopped with that a couple times. They didn't want to take my cash, they only wanted me to use my debit card.
Yep.
It's just
If
frustrating.
you use a debit card, they'll take your money all day long.
Oh, I know, right?
They'll even charge you for stuff that you didn't even want.
It's like having money.
Exactly. It's a weird concept. Okay, so today we're going to do our sponsor shout out before we get going. So we want to give a shout out to the Professional Youth Quest, which is our PYQ. Here at Arizona at Work, we have an awesome program for the youth. And of course, the Department of Labor says the youth are 16 to 24. So all those years we were youth and we didn't even realize it.
Yes.
We were youth carrying rifles. So
living the dream.
Exactly.
Keep the world
So
safe for democracy.
so now, as a youth, you could all go down to the recruiting station, join
they have
up,
high turnover rate, all
serve
the
your time.
branches, my
Yeah.
understanding.
Or if you're not sure what you want to do, but you're in an education or a training program, you're the age 16 to 24, you come from a low-income family as defined by the state of Arizona, give us a call. Here in Sierra Vista, it's 520-458-9309. Ask for Leanne, and those in Douglas area, 520-364-8926, and ask for Angie. They do cover all of Cochise County, so if you're in Benson, Tombstone, Bisbee, call one of those numbers, they'll get you in touch with the right person. But for businesses, this is a great opportunity for you to get involved and to help shape the minds of the youth. A lot of us that went through high school, graduated, had no idea what we wanted to be when we grow up. You know, a lot of us joined the military, and then after we got out, we still didn't know what we wanted to be.
There's a huge benefit, you know, well, Kevin and I were both from Sierra Vista, even though he went to Boyne, and I won't hold that against him.
No way, no.
But
Go Colts.
if you live in a small rural town, you don't have a lot of options. I know for me, it was either, work for the Army if you're able to get a job, or one at Walmart, or one of the grocery stores, or just
Fast
join the
food.
military,
Yeah.
you know, or fast food. But PYQ has a really good benefit. It's keeping our kids here.
Yep.
So you're invested into their future, so it's a phenomenal program.
And you're giving them a chance, and the good part for employees is you don't have to pay anything.
Exactly.
Minimum 100 hours that are paid for through the PYQ program.
Could you say that one more time? The employer doesn't have, who pays for it?
PYQ, Workforce Innovative
No
Opportunity
way.
Act. So
That is awesome.
free labor, and all you got to do is teach and educate
Yeah.
them. I mean, go
Get 'em ready
figure.
to get into the workforce, help them
Exactly.
achieve those dreams.
So, employers, if you're interested, give Leanne or Angie a call at the numbers mentioned earlier. Parents, youth, if you are looking to better yourself, go to college, you want to go to training, but income's tight, give us a call. We may be able to help. It's a great program, great service. Next sponsor shout out is Visionquest. Now, Visionquest, they've been around for 50 years. They're opening a new office in Benson. They're looking to hire about 60 staff. It's a 24/7 schedule. The new transitional shelter facility in Benson will serve 48 at-risk Spanish-speaking boys ages 12 to 17. So if you're interested, we actually have next Tuesday right here at Arizona at Work in Sierra Vista. We're going to be holding a hiring event for Visionquest. And they're going to be doing on-the-spot interviews and question and answers. They're looking for a lot of people, medical, dental, vision, administration, janitorial, just all kinds of stuff. So check us out. Come see us next Tuesday on the 3rd from 10 to 2.
Right on.
So what is Arizona Job Connection, or AJC?
To start off with, what I normally tell my clients, this is our statewide database for employment and training. And also, you know, if you're just trying to find, and what I like about it is, so if you apply for a job to start off with, it's really nice because it takes you straight to the application process of whichever company you're wanting to hire or apply for, or it'll tell you how to apply for those companies, whether it's just dropping off the resume or emailing to them. However, it gives you really good instructions and a point of contact. And that's the beauty overall of AJC. But then, you know, say you're just trying to go to school, the eligibility trainer provider list in there is all the schools throughout the state of Arizona that are accredited. And you can find out, and again, it'll take you straight to that school's website if you're trying to find a degree program or certification program or whatnot.
And yeah, and like one of the things you said that stands out most is available training.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Indeed, LinkedIn, you're not going to find a lot of the
No, you don't.
training unless
No,
you go
exactly.
into their tutorials,
Mm-hmm.
and they may teach you about Microsoft Excel or Word or Office. But the uniqueness of AJC and the fact that it will help you to find accredited training programs that could be funded through the Workforce
Exactly.
Innovative Opportunities Act. So being able to find not only job possibilities, but also training possibilities. Maybe you need a certification. Maybe you need
Or say you're not wanting to find a degree program, but a certification program that'll put your, say truck driving as an
Yeah.
example. And that's what's nice about it, they're out there. And, you know, it'll give you the point of contact with, you know, the school that you're wanting to get in touch with. And so they can explain it more in detail what they do. But you're right, I mean, it is a neat database from that standpoint. Cause I never realized how many schools are out there. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really is.
and you know, the other thing is it'll give you a list of different resources,
Mhm.
workforce solutions, job assistance programs that are out there. So maybe you're struggling. You don't have the money to go to school.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just in a dead-end job and you want to get promoted or change career fields. The AJC database, the whole format is set up to help you find different resources and information.
And you're right, and I think the neat thing about AJC, and I hope I'm not jumping forward, it does all the thinking for you. All you have to do is click, 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 select, read and select, and that's the nice thing about it. And it ties into what we call ONET Online, so all the ONET codes and everything, and that is the beauty of it. You know, I would much rather read, it takes a little bit longer, but I would to select bullet comments, if you will, on your resume, than have to try to remember what it is I did at my job, my previous employment.
And then sometimes, like we've mentioned before when we talked about resumes, is sometimes we don't really realize what all we've done in our jobs.
No, exactly.
You know, Kevin, what did you do in the Air Force?
I scheduled fighter training missions,
Okay, so,
dispatcher basically.
yeah, so with that, you know, people say, what did you do? You give them the textbook answer or whatnot.
Mhm.
And then sometimes, I know what happened to me, is that you tend to forget about all the little things that you did away from training to
Mhm.
running this program, from establishing this program
Exactly.
to quality assurance, just all the different little things we did in everyday life. But I think part of it's because we get, even in the civilian world, we get so prone to the textbook answer.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you got a stay-at-home mom. And she says, well, I've only been a stay-at-home mom for 10 years. Okay, well, what did you do while you was a
You've done a
stay-at-home
lot
mom?
for 10 years.
You know,
Caregiver.
caregiver,
Chauffeur.
financial.
Yeah, human resource,
Event,
basically.
event planner.
Yeah, exactly. So there's so many little things, and that's one of the good things, like you said, with AJC being connected to ONET, sometimes you don't really think about it. So you can start answering some of these questions and get more of an idea. Hey, wait, I am something. I'm pretty awesome
What's
here.
interesting, and I've seen this, you know, I've started to tell my clients this is when we're building a resume or whatever. You know, have you ever noticed that when you upload that resume and it's all numbers, it's just, and that's what I like about AJC. If you utilize the resume builder in there, it's using the proper terminology, it's using the proper font, computer speak, if you will, to do all that for you. And that's what's nice about it. And a lot of people, you know, and I understand it's painful to babysit an hour or 2 hours doing this work in AJC, but at the end of the day, it's beneficial that you do that. And that's just my 2 cents.
I think it's a great place for a master resume.
Exactly.
You're only required to go back 10 years, that's what the employers only want. But you can go back and you can put every single job you have in there, and you can reference back rather than banging your head on the table
Exactly.
trying to remember when and
Exactly.
where you worked and what your duties were. And, you know, I always compare it to like a scheduling board. When you have that master resume and you have your resume you're trying to target, and you go, I don't know if I did that. Hey, oh, I did. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take one of these and I'm gonna move it over here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take this one that doesn't apply to the job, and I'm gonna just put it back over my
Exactly.
master resume. And you always have it there, and you spend less time. And honestly, it's when you're sitting down and you really want a job that it's the most difficult to target your resume.
Mhm.
So if you have everything already together, you're gonna make it easier and be able to actually focus on the meat and potatoes of the resume to
Right.
make sure that you're getting that 75% word match
Mhm.
to get from HR to an interview.
Well, and you're right, and what I think is kind of cool, like I've heard you say this time and time again, and I tell my clients the same thing, you can have multiple resumes in AJC, and that's what's really nice about it. What, up to 5 of them?
Yes.
And so if you wanna have the target resume or whatever, it's great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Are-
people, our
are
manager's
they-
standing behind us.
they
so we have to
visiting
look
us at the
important.
zoo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
See the monkeys in the cage?
I know, oh, look.
So the good part is AJC, I mean, there's a variety of jobs listed in there. There's a number of positions on the website. And AJC allows you to narrow your search
Yeah.
by redefining the job type, mechanic, nurse, sales.
The only issue that I've had because of the clients Kevin and I work with is that if you get that individual, veteran or non-veteran, but that's worked in a very highly specialized career field, it gets a little challenging in AJC.
Yeah.
So that's where you have to kind of think outside the box. And a lot of times, because of the location we work at, like your MI people or Signal, stuff like that, it's a little bit harder, and that's where I could see the clients get frustrated. So I normally will tell them, we have to think outside the box a little bit when you're doing your search, when you're building your resume and agency.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that a lot of it's gonna change anyway.
Exactly.
With all this virtual work becoming more and more popular, there's more jobs being created, the IT world is growing, the cyber world's growing. So yeah, I mean, there will be some challenges, of course, one of the biggest ones y'all probably see is those old veterans
Mm-hmm.
whose jobs no longer exist,
Yeah.
Oh, back in Vietnam, I was a MRE opener.
And it's funny, I was working, I've worked with clients in the past where, you ask them a lot of questions, and also the older the client, you have to reassure them, this isn't as hard as you may think it is. I'm gonna sit here and help you. And once you start showing them, it's kind of interesting, the light bulb goes off,
Yeah.
and then they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and the good thing about AJC is you can save a job,
Mm-hmm.
go back to it. If you apply, you can go in and check the status of your
Exactly.
application. Indeed and stuff, you can't do a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could save your job searches as
Yeah.
categories, so you don't have to type in the zip code, the area. You just type in administrative assistant. You do it once, you save it, you just hit run every
And you
time. And I have not seen a limit on how many searches
Exactly.
you can save.
And you can also get notifications if a new one
Mhm.
get posted.
Yes.
And what's nice too, you have the ability to select if you want people to view your resume, stuff like that. And I always show them, I said, hey, look, see how many views you have already? And so that is a positive thing, because
Yeah.
now you show the client, oh, wow, I mean, someone's looking at my resume? Yeah.
Exactly, and most of the other sites you apply
Mhm.
and you wait and you hope you
Yeah.
hear something. And it's hit or miss, that's one of the biggest complaints a lot of the job seekers have is that they never hear anything back.
And I know for our local area, what's cool too, especially if you're working in the contract side of the house, the contracts, they have to post their jobs in AJC. So that's a benefit to you. So you don't have to go to, if you're looking for contract specific, say your MI or whatever, they're gonna post those jobs in AJC
Oh, yeah.
locally. And that's
Oh, yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, and I can tell you from searching firsthand, a lot more,
Oh, really, Eric?
don't wanna hear it, stop it.
I thought this was gonna be professional.
I know. It's like,
That's what happens when you put a
Good
fat
job,
army
Eric.
guy,
God.
put an army guy in charge of profession, huh?
Oh, crap.
Yeah, I mean,
That was bad.
workforce live, take two.
Yeah.
So, I lost my train of thought.
It happens all the time, people. Squirrel.
One of the best, like I was saying, I did notice when I did some searches is you can find more of the contractor positions in AJC than you can anywhere else.
Yeah.
And the good part is like, sometimes you'll see some of them in USA Jobs, sometimes you'll see some in Indeed, but in AJC, you can pretty much see all of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's very beneficial for the veterans that are looking for government jobs and
Exactly.
stuff. One of the best benefits, I think, is that, if you have a problem with LinkedIn, Indeed or whatnot, there's not really a person you can go to and talk to. Even if they give you a number for a help desk, it's hit or miss. But AJC, if you run into a problem, you contact the local workforce at Arizona at Work, or you come into our one-stop, and somebody there can help you with your issue, whether it's
Yeah.
resetting your password,
Exactly.
or just, hey, I didn't understand this part of it, how do I navigate this?
And I know from my standpoint, a lot of times, you'll assign homework to the client. Hey, look, if you want to do this at home, that's awesome. If you want to register, or if you want to take the time, we'll sit down and do it. A lot of people like to upload their resumes into AJC, and I always ask them, hey, look, if you have a little bit of time, let's build you an AJC resume.
Yeah.
Because, like I said earlier, the nice thing with AJC, it builds it, I don't want to say the right way, but there's a lot of benefits to utilizing the resume builder in AJC.
Well, it asks you it asks you questions. A lot of these other sites, they give you a generic question, or they want you to input your information. Work history, boom, 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 boom. I was a carpenter. Okay, and that's it.
Yeah.
AJC will actually ask you questions about it, to identify some of the skills, some of the things you can use in other jobs as well. So we've got easy access, help personal help instead of a computer help. At the workforce, we have ability to build resumes, load resumes, build a better resume as far
Yeah.
as asking questions and finding those skills and stuff. And then, of course, it's also seen by employers.
Yeah, exactly.
So you'll go in, you apply, you create your resume, you put in there what you're looking for, and employers can elect to be notified. So the business gets elected and to be notified. So if Kevin or Jerry comes in today, builds their first resume, creates the account, and boom, it goes out there. So now employers that have jobs posted, keywords will match and it'll go straight to their inbox or email and say, hey, we got a potential client.
Exactly, and I'm glad you brought up keywords because it does all the thinking for you. Where, I built my, I did a federal resume one time. That was painful. It's not a fun process. And so because, what are the right keywords to type in? It's just not fun. But that's what I like about AJC. It does the thinking for you. You just select and you're done. To me, it's very beneficial.
Yeah, they have the My Skills list where you can
Yeah.
list your specific
Tools.
details and those will go straight to employers and give them notifications,
Exactly.
heads up. Employers, if you're an employee out there, and I know this is part of my job dealing with businesses, is try to get them to create an account with AJC, and there's some hit or misses and some different opinions. But employers, you can create you an account there or have one of the BSR team create you an account and post your jobs through AJC. You could get notification when somebody creates an account, somebody creates a resume that has skills that you're looking for. So there's a lot of eager job seekers in AJC, just ready to work immediately, and AJC will help you match your positions with those people.
Like Kevin, the caveat what Kevin was saying earlier too is, so you have your master builder resume in AJC, and so say you don't have a copy of your resume, you just come on into our office, log into your account, and print out as many copies as you want.
Yep.
Download it and print it, you're done.
Yep.
And that's nice.
Yeah,
Very
it is.
beneficial.
And then, once again, we go back to one of the biggest selling for me is the valuable training sessions. Once again, we're talking about that training where you may need a certification. And
Exactly.
you're looking for a school that is accredited, that could be funded through the Workforce Innovative Opportunity, the WIOA grants. So instead of just blindly coming in, you could do your own little research and say, okay, hey,
Well,
I wanna go here, do this, and
and that's that's the hard issue when you're trying to get assistance with training through Title I. If you come in, if you're the client, come in here, you have all the information, you've looked at AJC, you have your account, the whole 9 yards, cause you have to sell that to you guys to have them pay for your school,
Yeah.
basically. That it's there's a lot of jobs in this, and with this career field, it won't be an issue looking for employment. So you go in there and just print everything out, and it
Yep.
tells you if, in there, I forget which part it is, but, if it's accredited through WIOA or whatever. So it does everything for you, basically.
yeah, you can do your homework, cause we're gonna have you fill out a packet anyway, a step 1 packet, to see if you qualify for the funding and stuff. The more you have, in your duffel bag,
Exactly.
to say, hey, I wanna go to this school, it's accredited, this is the training, this is the jobs I can get, this is what it looks like in this area. You've done most of the work.
Well, yeah, and that's the hard part too, is if you're new to the area, you have no idea what the job market is. And this gives you a really good start to give you a really bird's eye view of what is available in that area,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, cause not everybody's gonna be the same,
Exactly.
I've had, some military spouses reached out to me, they PCS'd here, with, forensic psychology backgrounds. And it's like, okay, not gonna find a whole lot of that in Sierra Vista.
Archaeologists.
Yeah.
They're two. They're not retiring anytime soon.
My favorite was the scuba diver.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
But,
In the middle of Arizona, scuba
But-
divers.
but if you were to contact your local, like we do with a lot of veterans, or moving back to God knows where, and so they call us or they come in and say, hey, look, how do I find out what's available where I'm from? Easy. So if you're from here, you wanna call, or you're relocating here, calling your local workforce office, they'll give you the website, you create your account, start doing your job search to find out if this is the right place you wanna move back to, what jobs
Yeah.
are available in that sector.
Well, and for the job seeker, there's information from career planning to unemployment insurance, which is a big thing nowadays.
Yes.
Labor market statistics and more for businesses. There's information on tax credits, hiring veterans and individuals with disability, among others. I mean, so there's all kinds of information in there, not just, hey, created me an account, applied for a few jobs. You know, AJC actually opens up more opportunity.
And what's nice, a lot of people, you know, I have it asked, you know, sometimes I'll have a client ask me, well, how do I find this? Okay, so when you log into your account, left-hand side, you'll have all of the different links, that, you know, if you're doing a job search or look at your resumes or training, just click on it, and then you just have to narrow your search from there.
Yeah, and once, you know, to caveat, one of the biggest things is if you wanna speak to someone about what's there, just contact Arizona at Work staff.
Exactly.
Somebody can assist you with answering some of your questions. And there's all kinds of programs and stuff that are available, you know, I've got listed right here. Adult Education, Arizona Apprenticeship, Fred G. Acosta Job Corps Center, Hilton Honors Military Reward Program, y'all should know a lot about that.
Yeah.
Offender Employment Initiative Program, Phoenix Job Corps Center, Pipeline, Arizona, SNAPCAN, SNAP Career Advancement Network.
List goes on and on.
Yeah, so these are just some of the programs, and there's actually a tab in there when you go to log in, you hit the programs button, it'll list all these, and it'll take you to a site where it'll give you more information, it'll give you the background, if you wanna apply, vocational rehabilitations for those with disabilities, even work opportunity tax credit. So there's so much enrolled in this AJC program. Basically, I mean, if you look at the overall picture, it puts Indeed and everything else to shame.
Well, you know, and I'll tell you the biggest difference between Indeed and Arizona Job Connection is it's us.
Yes.
We are part of the Arizona Job Connection. If you look at Indeed, employers are paying for that service. Our service is free.
Yes.
There is nobody in Indeed that works for the job seeker and the employer at the same time trying to find that right fit.
Yep.
And if you're working with an employment service representative or a veteran employment specialist, DVOP, like Jerry and myself, then our job is to get you set up in that system. We're aware of your skills and qualifications, but then we have people like Eric and Coy, who on the business service side, they're resume searching.
Yeah.
And they are letting us know when they come across a resume that does not match a position, they go, hey, we need some more resume work. You can't get that with Indeed.
Yeah.
And no, you're absolutely correct. And the other thing too is, you know, between Eric and Corey, they're the ones locally who post this information into the system. So they're the ones who have talked to the employers or, you know, whatever. And so that's always nice. You know, how many times have we said, hey, Eric or Coy, I have a client who was wanting information on, say, a Walmart job or whatever. You know, you guys have talked to those employers, or either in person, the phone, you know what they're looking for.
And we live here.
Yeah,
Indeed
exactly.
doesn't.
Yeah. Well, you know, on top of that too is, as the BSR team, part of our job is to advocate for those people, you know. Indeed didn't have anybody that's gonna call Walmart and say, hey, I got this great person here.
Exactly.
Cause for them, unfortunately, for them, it's about money. You know, it's all about money. You may be able to set up an account as a job seeker, but searcher, I didn't mean to say circer, you know.
Did he say what I think he said?
I'm a little tongue-tied today, hush.
Hold on.
I mean, that's what I
And
wanted to
go.
hear, so.
Let's try this again.
Just one more time.
So, yeah, I
Start
mean,
from the top.
As a job searcher, you don't have to pay for Indeed. However, the businesses to post their jobs, to post those ads and all that, they have to pay.
Yeah.
And it's all about money. So they're not gonna they don't have anybody that will advocate for you. You know, and I'm not saying it's a bad service or a bad site, but
No,
the one
it's-
thing AJC can do is connect you with the team,
Yeah.
like Kevin say, us. We're the most
you know,
most vital part.
And I, you know, both of my boys work in the mining industry. Indeed, it's worked for them. It's great, not knocking it. But like you guys were saying, you know, we have skin in the game. This is our community. We understand, our business service reps, they understand what the employers are looking for, you know, and we try to find the right fit. So if a client comes in there, hey, I wanna apply for blah, 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 oh, okay, or have a question on a certain job, ask.
Yeah, and you know, one of the best part is you can enroll at an AJC. You can come into One Stop, you can enroll here, or you can do it at home.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing that says you can't. We can give you all the
Exactly.
information.
And I just ask, you know, take that few minutes, people, and just create the resume in AJC.
Yeah.
Again, it's doing all the work for you, you just gotta read and click, that's
Yeah,
all you gotta do.
Exactly, it'll get you started, it'll, like Kevin said, a great, perfect,
Mhm.
master resume, you know, and the website is www.azjobconnection.gov.
Spit it out, Eric.
Click on Job Seeker, click on Create a Job Seeker account under Create a Profile, and then you fill all that out and submit. Or you can come into the Arizona,
Yeah.
our One Stop.
Cause again, because of what's happened, in the last few months, you know, when you apply for unemployment, I think it's kind of funny sometimes, a client will come in, they're looking for work, and I'll ask
It's
them.
been 7 months.
Yeah, 7 months. It's been a long
I've
7
been
months.
stuck at home 7 months.
That's why we have Kevin. I drug him in here, people. It's kind of sad.
He was drooling, in his pajamas, but we got him out, got him cleaned up a little bit, so, you know, just let him know there is freedom beyond
Yeah,
the
there
walls.
is. There's fresh air, trees, amazing.
Talking to somebody beside my dogs.
But
This is Jake from
From
Bush's,
State Farm.
from Bush's Baked Beans.
Yeah.
This is Daryl, my other brother, Daryl.
Stop it. I'm trying to be serious. We're professionals.
Professionals.
You wanted me here.
This is your fault.
So while we're trying to remember what
Yes.
we were talking
So,
about.
anywho, but you know, when a client comes in there and they've applied for unemployment, and one of the things does this site look familiar? You ever been there? And they'll say, nope, never done it. I was like, okay, and you just applied, yeah, so you're in here. And it's just kind of funny because you'll pull them up and they're like, how, I didn't do this. And it's like, it's okay, calm down. No
Yeah.
one's starting to steal your identity or anything like that. It auto-populates because you've applied for, say, unemployment. And so the nice thing is, you know, Kevin and myself, we'll sit down with them, we'll reset their their password or whatever, and get them going. And that's the beauty of it. And like I said, just take a few extra minutes and build your resume in there. Try not to upload. That's just my opinion,
Yeah.
but.
Well, and employers, same thing, azjobconnection.gov, click on employer, first time user under employer login, and create you an account. You can post your jobs there, you can get notifications of skills and new clients coming in, or contact somebody from the BSR, myself or Coy Trujillo, and let us know. We'll get you a job order form and we'll create you an account there for you and help you post your jobs as well. So it's easy, it's great, there's so many benefits to AJC.
And I think the beauty of all of it is, at the end of the day, whether you're a veteran or non-veteran, but we work with veterans, is that you come in, we'll get you signed up in the AJC, help you build your resume, do your job search. Something these other sites don't have is that we have people here who will advocate for that client. The non-veterans, you know, with our ES, employment specialist, it's not uncommon for them to get up, call that business, hey, I have a client here.
Yeah, are you still looking?
Are you
Yeah.
still looking? We'll send them right down there. These other sites don't do that.
Yep.
And that is, I think, the best thing about AJC. We have staff that care, that wanna help that.
Yeah, and
Get a job.
even during the times of the pandemic, we do have
Great
folks that are
pandemic.
working virtual. Kevin is one of them, you know, so we even have the ability to work with you one-on-one
Mhm.
virtually.
Yep.
So no matter how you take it, whether you just call in, you come in, or you virtually work with, someone working from home, we've got you covered. We're here to help, get you through everything. AJC, it can be a challenge sometimes in certain aspects. However, there's so many benefits to it that the traditional sites don't have.
And I understand it could probably be very overwhelming, but once you start getting apprehensive or whatever, just take a couple minutes break. Hey Jerry, can I go step outside for a few minutes? Yeah, sure, knock yourself out. Then come back and re-engage.
Yeah,
Too
because
easy.
it can be very frustrating,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, well, I think one of the other things that we haven't really talked about is when you build your demographics in AJC, we get an idea of some of the barriers that you have.
Exactly.
And, I mean, if you list that you're homeless, you don't have a roof over your head, that's number one. We wanna get you those resources,
Exactly.
Yeah.
health insurance, transportation, do you know the bus schedule, do you know where you can get discounts? Childcare
Or
assistance.
the big one, unemployment.
Unemployment,
If we
yeah.
find out you've been unemployed for say, 27 weeks or
Yeah.
2 weeks, let's get you on unemployment at
Yeah,
that point.
it's not just about employment, it's about the whole person.
Yeah.
And,
And
you know,
that's-
because it can be difficult to find somebody a job when they don't have a roof over their head. or they're not
Exactly.
Yeah.
eating.
Or transportation.
Transportation, yeah, so it's
And-
not just employment.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about AJC, that once again tops so many of these other sites, is because no other site I've seen yet is concerned about that.
No.
They just want a body.
They don't care if
They
you're
wanna go to work.
homeless, they don't, and I don't say that in a mean way, but the way the
It's not a
system is set
priority.
up,
Yeah.
the priority is helping businesses find jobs and job seekers find.
Well, and that
jobs.
opens a lot of really cool opportunities, like Kevin was saying. So if what started off with maybe just looking for a job, now, okay, we've had you apply for unemployment, or we have an appointment for you to come in and do introduction for training, or
Yeah.
we're sending you down to the Warrior Healing Center or whatever. I mean, that is amazing, and you have that. Oh crap! I went in there only to do this, and I came out just
Yeah.
all this stuff got accomplished. or
And
the
you know,
process.
and it's true, you don't know what you don't know. And
Exactly.
that's one of the good things about the AJC system, is that you come, like you said, you come in for one thing and you leave with so much more, because that one thing leads to something else. And not only if you come into the office or call someone from workforce, AJC is geared to ask you questions and to identify some of those barriers and challenges.
And the only thing that I would ask is, you know, sometimes we get busy, and I know this discussion for another time, because of what we've been asked to do by the state, for whether you're working virtually, or how much staff is working on site, you know, make that appointment, and we will sit down with you, we will walk you through. If you're having major issues, you're not very comfortable with a computer, a staff member will sit next to you and talk you through it or help you. And that's what I think is just so amazing overall.
Yeah, because, you know, unfortunately, you can't replace the personal touch. You can't replace the one-on-one.
Exactly.
You know, even virtually, you know, you can do a lot virtually, but there's just something about the one-on-one assistance and help. You know, how many people don't create accounts on Indeed, LinkedIn, or whatever, because they're not computer savvy, they don't understand or how to do it? Who's gonna help them? Yeah, granted, you can Google it or go to YouTube, and there's about 100 thousands of videos out there how to do this. But if you're not tech savvy to begin with, you know, that might be like, you know, listening to your dogs talk. You know, eventually it'll start making sense, which
Yeah.
will
It
probably
does now, it does now.
will cause you to be more concerned about your health and well-being. But, you know, taking away the personal,
Sorry, this is my first time.
The one time, Eric.
just this is not follow the leader, Kevin, okay?
I haven't left my house in 7 months, I haven't turned off my phone, I don't know how to do it.
What is this
Life of being
thing?
Virtual.
Yeah. Live in the cloud.
We try to get Kevin out as much as
There's
we
a
can.
cloud? Yeah, we feel bad. He doesn't get out of the house that often. It's kind of sad. But you know, like you're saying, you and Kevin, there's a lot of benefits to this. Take advantage of AJC. Come on down, or if you can't come, call in. And with the last 7 months, I think is what's really challenging, and we've talked about this a lot in the past, is how many people have we talked to that just has a flip-up phone? And they just don't know what, it's overwhelming.
Yeah,
Come down to your local workforce. They will help you. They will allow you to use the computer. And it's kind of funny, just the looks we get sometimes when it's like, yeah, just come on in whenever you want. It's free.
yeah, exactly. We don't charge.
No, just use our system.
We're here to help you be successful. Here's a challenge. I want to shout out a challenge, see if anybody will take us up on this. Give us feedback. What does virtual look like to you?
Yeah,
And what
let us
can
know.
we do as things slowly start moving to a virtual environment? What can we do at Arizona at Work to help the community, to help those that are not tech savvy, who don't own computers? They rely on coming in to use our computers and getting our help. But yeah, give us some feedback. Let us
Yeah.
know, what are some of your ideas
Yeah.
and thoughts during this time?
Well,
What are you afraid of? What are
Yeah,
your
and I
challenges?
think it's interesting. I listened to a British radio station, and just to listen to what they have done virtually, their DJs work from the one I listened to. They work from his kid's bedroom during the day, and he has it set up. But it's interesting listening to the challenge all these people have faced. So if you had, say, an unemployment issue, well, how do I apply? I mean, I don't know how to do it on my phone. This is the kind of phone I have. Well, hold on, come on down. Or let us know what the struggles that you faced out there during the last 7 months.
Yeah.
Because it's, you don't have to go through this alone.
Yeah,
Well, and we need to continue to adjust. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't know what every single individual is going through, so, if we don't know the issues, then
Exactly.
we can't,
Yeah,
we
exactly.
can't fix them, or at least attempt to fix them. I mean, there's, it seems like every week we're changing procedures because of all the changes. I'm not blaming anyone, that's what's happening, but, and we're getting more and more creative, but, yeah, unless we know. we
yeah,
can't
and
do it.
the part of that challenge, I wanna encourage those out there, cause odds are, if you have friends and family that are not tech savvy, they don't have internet, they don't have a Facebook account, they're probably not gonna be able to give us any of this information without coming in
Yeah,
or calling in.
exactly.
So you be their voice. You help us to hear them and share their stories. Share what the challenges are that you see in your family and friends that do not have internet or that are not tech savvy. Share with us so that way we can better our
Yeah.
services.
I have a friend of mine, dear friend of mine, is in his late 70s and small business owner. And what's been a struggle is, trying to walk him through how to apply for unemployment, how to do this. It's kind of sad in a way, because you have all these people that we really don't know about out there, that because they're at high risk or whatever, how do we reach them? How do we accomplish, how do we help them out?
Yeah, because I mean, the biggest gap that I see right now is in rural America, is everybody wants to go virtual. But it's only gonna touch, what, 50-60% of the
Yeah.
population, or, I mean, it could be higher, I don't know, I'm just saying, there's a lot of people, and we found this out through the unemployment, when all this pandemic unemployment stuff, where, we had a lot of people coming in, they needed help, we had to sit down and walk them through the process, cause they were not computer savvy, tech savvy,
And even
nor did
some
they
of the
wanna be.
people,
No.
or even some of the people who knew how to work a computer didn't know how to do what we were asking them to do.
Yeah.
How to upload, how to take a simple picture with your driver's license and how to upload that.
And some of it is just how to navigate the questions.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, it's like a foreign language. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest, government language can be hard to interpret.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how many times did you read a new policy message or a new regulation, in the military?
Mhm.
And then you'd have to sit around and talk with a bunch of people to figure out, okay, am I tracking this? Is this the
Yeah.
way it's supposed to go, or
When did
am
you
I
get
off?
the new AR? What's going on? What?
Yeah.
Well, and there's a lot of ifs.
Yeah.
If then, and you have to say, okay, do I fit into
Yeah, which category?
category?
And sometimes that can be, I mean, heck, even when they started the pandemic site,
Mhm.
me and Jerry we're walking people through, and, I mean, especially if you were an independent business,
Oh,
or
wow.
a seasonal employer, or a gig worker, as they called it, tattoos, real estate, salons, different stuff like that. The questions were not cut and dry.
No,
And
and
it's
it's
like,
really
okay.
hard to do it virtually when
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't see their screen.
Yes.
And I don't have access, because in order for me to have access, I would have to file for the
Yeah.
pandemic
Yep.
unemployment.
Yeah, so it is, it's very complicated, the language, you know, and the one thing I've learned with all these databases and all these programs and stuff, you got the smart kids in class that are creating these things, and some of them do a really good job, but even the best ones can never fully grasp all the what ifs, the maybes, and the
Yeah.
possibilities out there. You know, it's just not realistic unless you've actually lived it.
Yeah.
And that would be an old person with a lot of technology skill. Because it's just hard to really understand. I mean, especially
Yeah.
when you start to get, the independent contractors, the owners, the tattoo artists, the massage therapist, stuff like that. They don't work a regular schedule. They don't make a regular wage, you know, so
And it
it
gives
gets very
you, I didn't realize, you know, the different occupations that are out there, you know, self-employed. A friend of mine, he's a tracker, you know, and it was like, oh, wow, how do we do this? You know, and we were all, you know,
Is his name Tonto?
no, not Tom,
Okay.
but we'll meet him soon. No. But it's
As long as
just,
you don't call me Kimosabi. You know that means other brother, right? Or the wrong brother.
Not the joke I heard, but.
But anyway, no, but it's been interesting because, you know, there's occupation, I didn't even know it. I mean, how do you
Oh,
make
yeah.
money off of that?
Yeah,
You know, but it's been very fascinating, but, you know, the nice thing is, I mean, well, when you build your AJC, you go in there and you build your resume, you know, you might have to be a little creative, like, you know, especially on the military side with, the only thing, like I thought it was kind of funny, a role player. I had to go to ONET
Yeah.
to use the actor. And so you had to copy paste,
it's like
but,
a role player?
yeah, it's
Do
like,
I wanna know?
and they just looked at me and said, you're an actor. And they're like, yes, I am. And so we had to,
Yeah.
took a little bit longer,
Well,
but that's
you
the
know,
hard part about AJC.
Our society, we're all about labels and titles,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know, and we're good at making stuff up. I mean, especially in the military. I mean, how many task force, whatever, and operation, whatever that, you know, I mean, I know deployed, we had some weird operational names.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And it's just like, what? Who comes, it's almost like naming the hurricanes.
yeah.
Who comes up with
with
that?
this stuff? But yeah, overall AJC, I've grown to really appreciate AJC. It is a good website if you use it right. And if you're not sure, ask the right people. Hey, go to your local Arizona at work. I'm having issues. I don't know what to do. Well, let's make you an appointment. Let's get you in on the computer. We'll sit down with you. We'll talk you through this. We got this.
Yeah.
We're in this together.
Yeah, so everyone out there, somebody's putting answers, but not for us to put out. Okay, so today we've talked about
Why
Arizona
is that
Job
person
Connection.
calling you names, Eric? No.
I don't know. I hope I don't owe them money.
Oh, yeah, they said something about $20. I don't know.
Kelly said hi.
Oh, hello, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
One of our workforce specialists working from home, she gave us a shout out, so thank you. And there's Mary Naranjo. I hope I didn't butcher your name, Mary. She had a question, and our workforce director is taking care of that, which is much appreciated.
Yeah.
But today we've talked about Arizona Job Connection. What is it? Reasons to use it? Why is it beneficial? How to enroll, whether you're a job seeker or an employer. So, what to do next? It's all up to you now. Take action. You hear, you learn, act on what you've learned, seek the help you need, own it. It's your career, it's your life, it's your happiness.
Well, it's all about being on time, on target.
Yep.
It's,
And most importantly, come see us here at Arizona at Work, Southeastern Arizona. We have two offices, one in Sierra Vista at 2600 East Wilcox Drive, and in Douglas at 515 East 7th Street. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call us here in Sierra Vista, 520-458-9309 to set up an appointment, which we do encourage right now due to some of our folks working at home virtually. So our in-office staff can be short some days, so give us a call, set up an appointment. We'd love to sit down and help you out, whether it's registering AJC, whether it's just finding out some more information about our resources and what we can do to help. Veterans, come see Jerry or contact Kevin to help with those barriers to employment, finding the right job. So thank you for joining us today for Workforce Live. Now that you know a little more and have a little more guidance, it's up to you to make it happen. Once again, own it. We here at Arizona at Work, we're here to help for you in your endeavor to be employed, and we know it can be challenging and frustrating to say the least, but the good news is you're not alone. Just reach out, we're here to help, and don't be a stranger. Do you have something to say?
No, I was gonna say, don't be afraid to ask those questions.
Exactly.
Don't be
don't.
afraid.
We're not here to judge you. We see all type of personalities, characteristics, challenges.
Mhm.
We've seen a lot. I'm not gonna put us out there and say we've seen it all, but
Well, but before we go, I just wanna thank Kevin for being here, but,
yeah,
if you guys call and ask for Kevin, don't hesitate to tell him he is a pretty big deal.
I am.
Yeah,
I am.
he
At
is
least
a
I
big deal.
think so.
But you are.
and if you're an Ohio State fan, he would love to talk to you.
Oh, this is the first time ever. We finally did it, Teresa. Boom. Jerry Kevin Day. Oh man, that's awesome.
I cannot take you guys anywhere. So yeah, please share your thoughts and ideas for upcoming live streams. What do you want to see? What do you want to hear? What do we need to do? What do we need to change? What should we add? We welcome your feedback. After this live feed, I will share it to all of the groups that I participate in throughout the county, throughout the state of Arizona. So if you got any info, let us know. If you're a veteran, give us a shout out in the comments. Just put vet. You don't have to go into details.
Just real quick, next Wednesday, we're gonna have our regional coordinator, or
Yeah, we're here
first
to.
art, and
We're gonna put one of our regional top dogs on the spot. We're hoping that you will chime in, because we're gonna talk about what does it look like to do this virtual.
And we're also gonna introduce the Southern, the DevOps for Southern Arizona and our business service team, our new and improved.
There are gonna be some introductions. There's gonna be some discussion. We look forward. We hope you join us. Once again, get those questions ready, especially in reference to what does virtual look like for
For the veterans.
DevOps, for the veterans, the
Family,
families and the spouses. What does it look like? Because in rural Arizona, it's a little different. It's not like in Tucson and Phoenix where
Yeah.
they have a lot more bandwidth, connectivity, internet providers. We've got folks in the county that have none of that.
Yeah,
Live out in the middle of nowhere, and they like it that way. And I don't blame them, but there will be challenges to come with this new virtual world. So we welcome your feedback. Let us know. Tune in next week, same time, every Wednesday at 10:30 for Workforce Live. Arizona at Work is a proud partner of the American Job Centers and an Equal Opportunity Employer Program. So, what events do we have coming up? All right, so November 3rd, like I mentioned, Visionquest will be here at 2600 East Wilcox Drive at Arizona at Work here in Sierra Vista from 10 to 2, doing a hiring event. There's about 60 positions they're looking to fill, so come on out, join us, come talk to them, meet and greet. October 30th and 31st, there's a spectacular Halloween in Tombstone. October 30th, Events 161 has comedy night, Halloween contest, first showings from 7 to 9 p.m., second from 10:30 to 12:30 p.m. I thought about doing comedy night one time.
Oh, you'd rock it, Eric. You really would.
I just didn't know if they'd let me vogue it, but
See, we have to tell him that he is a big deal too. He's the funniest guy I know.
And I appreciate the laughs. So builds my self-confidence.
God bless your wife.
She puts up with a lot. So October 31st, we have a trunk or treat freaky food drive at the U-Haul Moving and Storage from
Food drive,
5 to
that's kinda
9.
cool.
That is a freaky food drive, huh?
That's awesome.
October 31st, 9 p.m. to 2 a.m., there's an adult Halloween bash at Club 161. So, there's events going on. I know a lot of people are concerned about what's Halloween gonna look like on COVID, but there are events going on.
Yeah.
There's things going on in town. But most importantly, come see us, check us out here at Arizona at Work. We're here to help you to become employed. And businesses, we are here to help you find those, to fill your foxholes so you can be successful and make that money. All right. Jerry, Kevin, thanks for joining us. I used to be cool.
Don't do that.
Many years ago, I was cool and hip when I had hair and a waistline. Now apparently I'm not. Even Jerry says I'm not. So,
I'm sorry.
he's been listening to my kids too much. So, Jerry, Kevin, thanks for joining. We look forward to seeing y'all next week, same time, same channel. Have a great week and enjoy your weekend. Peace.
Oh, we can use this.
Deuces.
Deuces.
I keep thinking about some theme songs.
Sorry, I usually don't watch it to the end.